Hello, it's Darren from Grills Plants here in Cornwall in the UK. The allotment is, what's the date today? It's the 6th of June. So, allotment's coming into its own. Peas are climbing. Onions down there, look, red onions, carrots fleeced. Why we fleece carrots is because to keep away the carrot fly. Main crop potatoes over there, look. Nope, that's first release, my apologies. Strawberries over there, nicely netted. We've got here, this is our lettuce bed. We cover that as well so the birds don't eat the leaves. And then we've got some rows of little Swedes coming up here, and some French beans and runner beans this side. Rhubarb galore. Fruit cages full of red currants at the moment, growing away, and blueberries. And our apple tree here, it's kids orange red, first in the ground, first year in the ground. May not get any apples out of it this year. We've got main crop potatoes coming up, and then we've got some over here. We've got some squashes, and they were planted a few weeks ago. Some young rocket down there, some spring onions, beetroot covered as the birds will eat the leaves, sweet corn, more onions and more beetroot. So today we are sowing carrots for Christmas. So yeah, we are Cornwall in the UK, so we're able to do this. I'd imagine, you know, depending on your zone, this is doable. So it's the 6th of June. You can still sow carrots in June, so it's not too late. So what we've got is this great big container here. We've filled it with compost. We've mixed the compost with some sand. You can see the sand in it. We've also added some ericaceous soil, which is sandy as well, because carrots like it quite free draining. They don't want to go against lumps and bumps and stones. To have basically knocked all the lumps out of this compost best we can, so we might get some straight carrots. So the carrot we're going to be growing this Christmas is this one here. It's from a company in the UK called Real Seeds. They're in Wales, and they grow a lot of produce a lot of heritage seeds. I say grow because they actually grow the plants, allow them to go to seed, extract seeds, and this is where a lot of the seeds come from. So this one here, marked on my packet, look, I can sow these from April. So I've sown some in April in our carrot bed, and now I'm going to sow these today in this pot for Christmas. So this is a variety called giant red carrot. And it is what it says it is. It's a giant carrot, and actually it's got a real good nice taste to it as well, which is important with the carrot, because we all know what supermarket carrots taste like: bland, boring, no taste. Grow your own carrots. They'll taste sweet and they'll taste like carrots used to. So we've prepared this pot here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to go around with our finger and almost make a little drill around the outside like that. Like so. Carrots don't have to be very deep. And then we're going to do another ring a bit further in, another ring there, look. So that'll be 2 good rows of carrots, and then we're going to do some dot in the middle where we can put a few more carrots as well. So I'm just going to sow them into these little trenches. You can see where it's just sort of built up. There's the dip there, look. That's the dip. So we're just going to sow them. We're going to sow more than what we need in that little pot, because then we can thin them out to be, and just keep the best carrots and the ones that look strongest, which will probably give us the biggest carrots. So let's get sowing. So here's the little seeds. Carrot seeds are quite tiny, and we're just going to distribute these through the pot, just like this. Just almost between thumb and finger. Wiggle your thumb and finger back and forth. You know, make sure you've sown enough, but not so many that they are, you know, loads in one place. Right, just a few more in that outer ring, and then this inner ring here. Just wiggle your thumb and finger, to let them go down through your fingers, just like that. Thumb and finger back and forth, and then we've got a little ring in the middle. Put 3 or 4 carrot seeds in that, and then all you do is you cover the soil back over, just lightly flick it back over like so. I'm sure most of you that have grown carrots know how to do this anyway, but if you're a novice and you're wanting to learn, that's as easy as you do it. Now I'm not going to compact this too much. I'm just going to lightly tap, go around, lightly tap, like so, and then we're going to give it a water twice. Once, stop, give it a few minutes, and once a few minutes have passed, give it a second water. We don't want to displace the seeds, see? So we'll just let that soak in. So I've put this cloche hoop in place. I've run out, so I would have normally have two. I'd normally have one cross section there and cross section there as well, going through each other, but got to use a lot of cloches this year. Looking for some more, but find it really difficult to find these old-fashioned cloches. You're really looking for old lopmatiers that maybe have passed away, and then they end up on marketplace by the son or the daughter. Don't really know what they are, but they're worth their weight in gold. They're, you know, these are probably 50 years old, these cloches, you know, 50 years plus, and they're still going strong. They were made in a time when things were made well. So my cloche has gone over, and now I'm going to put a fleece on it, and I'm going to peg the fleece around the edge of the pot. So here it is fleeced. Why the fleece? So they've put the fleece on is obviously it's going to warm the soil up a bit, help germination, but also, well, you know, we've got carrot fly here, and although it's in a pot and they say carrot fly can't jump so high, my experience here is that we've got an abundance of carrot flies, so we always net or fleece our carrots to ensure we don't get carrot flies. So with a cloche hoop, and then you can just use like normal pegs that you use on a washing line to hold it down. Alternatively, you can use these types of clips here, which you can buy often in a, you know, like a B&M or a Range, or even buy them on places like eBay or Amazon. And they will just hold the fleece down. So we can even water it with the fleece on. You know, we just water over the top of the fleece like that, across there, across there, across there, and the water will drip down through. So when we get to maybe mid to end of October, we're going to put this into our greenhouse, keep the fleece on, we keep checking it, we can take the fleece off, we can weed it, we can keep checking it, we can thin them out if we need to thin them out, because obviously we don't want lots of tiny carrots, so we need to thin them out, so space them about maybe, you know, each carrot 2 inches apart, and then guess what, they'll be fine in the greenhouse all through the winter. So we were still pulling carrots out of our pot for Christmas last year, still at the end of January we're still pulling carrots, so they're going to be fine in the greenhouse. You know, it hasn't got to be a heated greenhouse, they'll be absolutely fine in the greenhouse. You know, it's going to avoid going to the minuses and to the low temperatures like 4 degrees. So what we'll do is Christmas Eve we'll have a fumble around, move the soil around a bit, see how big the carrot is, and then we'll pull them and we'll have carrots for Christmas Day. And these are our potatoes, which we'll be digging on Christmas Eve as well. So these are a main crop potato. They are being grown in pots. We didn't fill the pot up completely with soil, sort of 3/4 full, and then when the shoots started showing above the ground, we then covered them. So we're doing the same thing as if we were going to bank them. And then, you know, in another, by the time we get to August, these top of the plants will be dying off, then we'll snip all the plants off. The potatoes will be absolutely fine left in these pots until Christmas Eve. They won't go hard, they won't rot, they will be fine, and then you've got your potatoes for Christmas Day. So how we do peas for Christmas Day is, you know, we will pick some of these peas and we'll put a bag of them aside in the freezer. We'll freeze them, they'll be as good almost as when they went in, and we'll have our own peas Christmas Day. So these are our sprout plants which we'll have on Christmas Day. So these were sown on the 9th of April. Okay, this is a Dutch sprout which is quite good to grow in the UK. So we sowed them, 9th of April, and when these are big enough we'll get these in the ground and we'll be eating these on our table Christmas Day. If you wanted to, you could do the same with kale. You know, you could be eating Russian kale. This is a Russian kale. You could be eating this on Christmas Day. It was sowed again on the 9th of April. These will go in the beds when they're big enough. We'll net them to ensure they don't get eaten by butterflies laying their eggs. So another one you could do, again, it was sowed on the 9th of April, so these will be ready for Christmas. This is a red cabbage called drumhead. So if you fancy cabbage on Christmas Day, try drumhead. Just a few other things we do. This is sage. This is a sage plant. You buy yourself a sage plant, dry the leaves, maybe August, September, dry them, crunch them up, and you've got dried sage from the garden to make a stuffing with sage and onion. So onions will keep if you net them. Final thing we can put on our table, these are red currants coming along. So when we pick these, we'll make a red currant jelly instead of a cranberry sauce or a cranberry jelly. We'll make a red currant jelly, which is more of an English thing, and we'll have that with our turkey. So trust me, it is possible to put all your vegetables on your plate, being grown from your own. It is possible. We've been doing it now for a few years. Last year our sprouts failed, and this is just growing vegetables in general. You know, you get successes and failures. So the sprouts were just too small, and I think generally sprouts were small last year because of the weather conditions. So going back to the carrots, I've suggested about Giant Red, which is a company called Real Seeds. The other really good one to grow for Christmas, I mean, people talk about Amsterdam being a late carrot. Never had much luck with Amsterdam, but you could try it as a late season carrot. But I find one called Resistifly is very good to grow for Christmas as well. So there you are. Get and grow that veg for Christmas.